whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our family chat, Patriots Across the Pond with Stu and Elisa. And this is the day that we invite you, our followers, to come on and chat and share your wisdom and experiences. And today we have Misty with us, and she is a frequent visitor here. So it's always great to see you and have you here. How's everyone doing?
Doing very well. Anyone watching in the Rumble chat or YouTube and wants to join, just let us know. I haven't put the link is at the top of the Rumble chat, but I haven't put it in YouTube as of yet. We do get some bit of craziness in there, don't we? So I tend to leave it to Rumble. But if anyone in the YouTube wants to come on, put a comment in there and I'll pop the link in there.
Yeah.
Misty, how are you, sweetheart? It's lovely to see you.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you, and I'm doing great. Really busy like you guys are, but I think we'll all agree there's so much going on, we can't keep up with it.
And after this weekend, I'm going to cross all that lot off and start writing some new stuff down. Yeah, so we haven't spoke to you, Misty, since before I went to America for the summit, have we?
Yes.
I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had an amazing time out there. I was just talking to you in the, what's it called, the green room, off screen, whatever you called it, before we went live. And yeah, we had an amazing time out there. It was such a shame you couldn't make it, but we have got another one coming up, if you've heard.
Yes, in Sedona, and I am so there. I've already been looking up things, what airport I got to fly into, which I'm assuming is Phoenix, because I'll fly out of Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. We know it's Sedona. Donna and Matt and our team, which includes me and Stu and of course Joe Rosati, we're just trying to see like what's the best place. It's all in the negotiation stage right now. The best place for us to be. But I'm hopeful within the next week we should have some more definitives. I mean, we do have a number of speakers that have said, "I'm in." So we've got a pretty good roster of people. So now it's just a matter of locking in. And I think if Stu, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had a weekend, but now with this new place, it might change, so we're like, we don't want to put too much out there until it's 100%, but it's exciting because that's a very spiritual,
yes,
beautiful part of the United States. So like for Stu, you just saw Long Island and the beaches and now you're going to see this whole other part of the country, the Southwest, which is like just gorgeous, right? And that's a beautiful time of year to go too.
Well, if we get
I'm still looking forward to it. I'm ready for my VIP ticket.
Oh, you're on your name's down.
Yeah.
If we got some sort of Nasara, Jisara, XRP, whatever redistribution of wealth, I shall be there soon after. I won't be waiting till October anyway. I'll be travelling about as long as I've got my Monduro screens, Elisa.
What the frig is going on with that?
When
did we order those? We ordered those in early April or March?
March. About March the 18th.
So they're just like, every time I see some of the correspondence going back and forth that I'm copied on, they're just like, oh, we're sorry. It's coming out of Hong Kong. Is there another company who makes them?
No, no, it's just one company. But obviously, because I bought a new laptop, I ordered it over there. And it was like 1,500 quid cheaper buying it over there, which is great. So, and I knew the laptop was going to take a month to be delivered. I didn't even think about the screens. We still haven't even got those yet. You know, it's crazy. But there you go. This is, at least they are talking to us in emails and apologetic and all these sorts of things. And
Yeah, they're not running away.
I don't need them at the moment. I'm back in the cockpit. You know, I've got 5 months in here potentially before I come back out there, or however long it is. May, June, July, August, September, October. 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months. I was looking just yesterday when I was starting to plan my calendar.
Yeah. So what's the good word down in your neck of the woods, Misty?
I'm glad you asked that question. I can't go into too much detail, but I believe Doge is making an arrest. We have had a sheriff re-indicted over in Georgia. And then there was also a big bust of a medical office with doctors and nurses. FBI came in and busted them for Medicare fraud. Wow. Yeah.
We are starting to see quite a few public arrests, aren't we, for various things now?
Yes, and lawsuits too. In my town.
Really?
Yeah, there's lawsuits of 501c3s and town.
You know, this is, to me, more important than these big names. And I'll tell you why,
Yes.
Because we know they've been dealt with. I know the public hasn't seen it. But in a sense, from where I stand, my personal opinion, who gives a shit? I know a lot of people need to see this and all. I don't really care. If I know that these crazy, psychopathic, money laundering, child sacrificing people are taken out, I don't really care. Life is better for all of us. But when we start seeing it at the local level, then we know those tentacles have really spread out in terms of whether they have been following these people, whether the people at the top started singing, like however it happened. Now we know we're really cleaning up the country.
Yeah, but you got to understand as well that when you see all these low people started to be lifted and taken out and stuff, these people, there's no code of conduct with those really. They are going to be squealing.
Oh, yeah. Squealing like a canary, squealing like a pig.
Yes.
Yeah. When does a bird sing? Yeah. And it's amazing.
That's great. So let me ask you this. Were some of these arrests that you're seeing locally, did you have a feeling or that they should be? Or was it very much a surprise to you in the area that this was going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. The Medicare fraud thing was a surprise, but I've heard since I moved here 5 years ago about different local corruption within the counties and how like some counties are linked together with the same good old boy network, and to include females in there as well. And the one that took place in Hiawassee, when it happened, I was not surprised. But when I sent the information that was sent to me, I sent it to some other local people that have been here much longer than I have. And one is very informed, very Q. Others were not. But the response was finally. So that just goes to show you that people have seen it for a long time and, nothing was done. And now something's being done for them to say finally.
Wow. That's really inspiring. I know out here on Long Island, I've probably said it a million times already. One of the people that joined us one day on our show had said, gosh, Steve from the post office out here.
I thought he was meant to come back on.
I know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe he's busy. I haven't heard from him. I hope everything's okay if he's watching. But anyway, he was talking about this, gosh, a year ago, how out here they were going in and pulling people out in cuffs at the post office, high level people locally. So you got to figure it's happening. If it's happening in your area, it's happening on Long Island, it's got to be happening everywhere, and that is one more reason to say to a lot of these black pillars, would you just open your eyes? You're not going to snap your fingers with all this stuff. It takes time. It takes manpower. I will say something, though. You will appreciate this. Yesterday, I'm driving, and we're going through New Jersey, coming back from Saratoga Springs, and there are these overpasses on the different roadways, and they're up there. One was Save Democracy. All these knuckleheads are up there. Save Democracy, get rid of Trump. So the traffic kind of slowed. So I'm standing there going like this. Because they're looking down at all the cars. I'm like, fuck you. So then we go a little further, and then there was another one, de-ice, And so, I tried to stay as calm as I could, but I was like, don't they seriously? Whatever. It was good entertainment, but
4 to 6%. Anyway,
I love telling those guys that Trump and ICE loves it. Trump loves you, ICE protects you. Oh, they get mad.
yeah.
Well, it's nice now, isn't it? Hey, Shirley, how are you?
Hi, Stu.
Hi,
Lisa.
Shirley.
Hiya. Hi.
So
Have you
good
met
to see you.
Misty?
No,
You
I
haven't met Misty, have you?
No, I don't think so. I think I've seen her name on the chats.
Yeah, she was one of our first guests that came on. So a good friend of Elisa as well. So how have you been?
I've been fine, and I only came in the last few minutes of that bit of a chat. Not this week, that's just gone yesterday, but last week on Mark Messina's huddle that they have on a Friday night, he interviewed Jeff on the couch and Mary, the guy on the couch. And they'd done an awful lot of deep research work into the job of the Coast Guard in America that was absolutely mind-blowing, because they operate in a completely different way. I mean, in England, when you think of the Coast Guard, you think of it's a completely different service. But apparently in America, and that they can actually arrest civilians. So apparently I did watch during the lockdowns. Oh, my brain's gone dead. I was only thinking of him a minute ago. The chap, Monkey Works, who tells all about the air traffic.
Sure.
Well, there's another one for sea traffic. I'm not sure who it is.
Sea traffic?
Yeah, and there's another one who covers all the boats and all the different things. And he said over the last few years, how come is it that the American Coast Guards have been operating off almost every country on the earth?
Really?
Collecting people and taking them, and that they have powers of arresting citizens. But it was a fascinating interview.
Yes, that's amazing. On this massive list of all that stuff, I've got that one I've got crossed out there. Says Trump, Coast Guard. Yeah.
Right.
And I couldn't remember what I'd written it on there.
Well, as I said, last week's Friday huddle, I mean, Jeff, to be fair, has done so much work, and he's set up so many systems with the help of AI coordinating all the stuff. He's very clever.
If anyone wants to follow him, he's called the Debriefing 17 on Twitter.
It's on Twitter? Okay.
Yeah, it's the debriefing. Yeah, he's basically, you remember that thing I posted a while back that I said everyone needs to watch this? It was him that used the AI to find out that, I think he was on with Rambo and that at the time, that Bitcoin was a white hat sting operation.
Yeah.
And he had all the receipts for it. It's
Yes.
amazing. If no one's
Heard
seen
that.
it,
Yes.
Stu or Shirley, where is he? Is it the Debriefing Academy?
Well, he might be. I mean, I haven't followed him on that, but as I say, I just happened to see it on the Friday Night Huddle about a week ago. Not the one last night, the one the week before. And he just was having a chat with Mary and Guy on the couch, which is Jeff. And then they just were putting together all their research. But it just made people say there's nothing happening and it's going on behind the scenes. Well, if you look at this and they show you how can the the Coast Guard, like if it was in England, you'd expect the Coast Guard to be operating in English waters around Great Britain. But that's why they were saying in America, the Coast Guard is operating off the coast in almost every country of the world.
I know why.
And so therefore you can't say that nothing's happening. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, even Monkey Works talks about the planes, doesn't he? That you've got the
yes.
US military in pretty much every country and other militaries in the US, all over the place. They're all coordinating and working together.
Sure they are.
I mean, this is only the stuff that Monkey Works can see, obviously, because, if they're going to do covert operations, they're not going to have their transponders on, are they? But it is a worldwide military Q alliance operation.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is. I mean, put it this way. I get a lot of family stick for this because so much of the family think I'm just in woo-woo land. I'm on another planet. I'm a radical. I'm far left. I don't know what they don't call me. It's a lonely place to be in when you. And I mean,
God, I'm surprised they call you far left.
Well, because I'm against. Although I didn't go on the UK, march. And things like that. Friends of mine did. But I do believe that in the sovereignty of countries, and I do believe that there is too much illegal immigration. I've recently discovered Rich Does Politics. Have any of you, if you've come across him, Stu?
Yeah.
He interviews some very interesting people, and they talk about, and he was an immigrant. He came from Pakistan. And there's a chap they did a lovely interview about a week ago, a chap called E.M. Burlingame, and it's an old Saxon name, and he was born in Birmingham, but he now lives in America, and he's been in
That's funny, because Elisa and I were just chatting beforehand, because that Ford Fighter Summit that's coming up that Nino's hosting with that E.M. Burlingame is there. He's one of the speakers of that.
He's an amazing man. I mean, not only is he really studied history, he was in the American Special Forces for almost all his working life.
Wow.
I'm subscribed to his newsletter, and there's quite a few. But he, whichever country he was sent to as an assignment, he learned the language fluently. I think he speaks 7 or 10 other languages totally fluently because he had to infiltrate. He had to become a native.
It's funny you said 7 or 10 there, because that's the 17.
Oh, of course, I never thought of that. Yeah. So, but it was really interesting to hear him talk, and the poetry he did. I went to the meditation group that I belong to on Monday, and he wrote on Memorial Day in America. He wrote a poem. To the Fallen, which I got in my email. I had to read it twice. Everybody I've read it to, he's so articulate. His use of the language, and it is a brutal poem, but it is so emotional. And everyone I've read it to has just gone, wow. So he's a man well worth, and he's very, very interesting. So he's well worth listening to, and his knowledge of history is superb. And he also, like you, is looking into the work of the Templars, and I'm fascinated by that.
So fascinating. Go ahead.
Sorry, did you watch our interview with Matrix Code?
I did. It was brilliant.
That was really cool. When I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with Juan O'Saven on text, and we spoke about a few things, but one of the things that he said was, just be advised that we are going into war mode.
Right.
So all the signs are there, whether it's on the local level where they're just going in and scooping these people up, whether it's seeing the Coast Guard and the U.S., the U.S. boats, I guess, going around doing their thing and working with other, I guess this is like what I would consider the cleanup, right? I mean, I think
Yes,
that
so.
we did all the work, we fought the war, we saved the kids. Hopefully, there's more to be saved all over, but that's an ongoing thing. But now it's like mop up. It's white hat mop up. That's how I would put it. Just like they plan to do their nefarious mop up of us, we're now doing the mop up of them.
Yeah, which is also the public exposure stage. I mean, Rambo and Dave talk about this all the time. The fact that, are we going to see an EBS, or are we in a long-winded, long-playing EBS of D-class and exposure? Because this is really coming into the public now. We're going to see, Tulsi Gabbard's got 30 days left, June the 30th. Is she going to start dropping everything in this next month? It's so much going to come, and we've got this July the 4th date coming up. That's only just over a month away now.
Yeah.
Well, but even when you look on social media now, I mean, I'm not on, although I did sign up to X or Twitter some time ago, I'm not on that. But even just what's being allowed, like on Instagram and Facebook, some of the subjects that they're covering are just a couple of years ago, they wouldn't have been allowed. And they're talking about so many different things. And some of the ones they've done on the extraterrestrials and the disclosure are absolutely brilliant. Some of the talks that they've done. And I do realize that if I like on one thing, the algorithms and everything put me more up. And I am aware of the counter argument that the algorithm will show you more of what you want to make you believe what you're seeing, because you're seeing it from numerous different sources. Yeah. But I'm seeing it across the board on so many different channels and through so many different people that I realize that this technology is very clever. But I try to keep an open mind and be aware that there are doubts, but I think I believe what I'm seeing.
It's really interesting. I just got a thought. We've been talking about this whole drip, flood, right? So maybe the flood is the fact that now there's more disclosure, right? And the sources but the flood is also us, because if you go on social media, now it's just, who knows where it's coming from, right? It's all of us, all the Anons, all the podcasters, all the truthers, right? All the former military, whatever you want to call them. Now everybody's just flooding. Today, X in general, I scroll like just 5 little scrolls, and it's one thing is more intense than the next. Like, there's no more nonsense really. Like, on social media, you had all this nonsense, people talking about things. Now it's like, oh wow, oh that's cool. Oh, I heard about that. Wow, this is more. It's just, I think the flood is just the floodgates are just now the digital army plus the real alliance military.
But I mean, the one particularly on the disclosure, as they said, why they've got to drip it out is people don't realize the massive repercussions over the fact that it's going to affect every walk of life. Yeah. It's going to affect particularly the people who are strongly religious. Yeah. It's going to affect everything, because the fact that people will realize, you think of how many, because Elisa, you've been to a funeral recently.
Yeah.
You think of how many family members and friends we've all lost through different routes. When you look at the medical stuff that's been kept from us and they don't use, it's awful to think that those people could have been saved.
Yes.
And then when you look at how religion has warped everything, it's the fact that these beings might be, I'm sitting here in this room on my own, and my eyes don't see anyone else in here, but some of these beings they're talking about, they haven't got a physical body, they are a frequency.
Yeah.
I could have extraterrestrials, for want of a better word, in this room with me now, sitting, listening, nodding along, and I wouldn't even know they're there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of this will really spook people out. So I think that the disclosure has to come through lots of sources. But I'm finding, like, wherever I go and I talk to people, I was just talking to an Amazon van man outside the door the other day, and he's completely on on our page.
Yeah,
He was
it's
up to
more
date
and
with it all.
more. Oh my
Everybody.
God. We were at this hotel upstate, and this guy checks us in really nice. And George goes out and starts a conversation. He went to have a cigarette, of course. And he was out there talking to the guy. This is the guy that works at the hotel. And he starts talking about, oh God, people are just so asleep. And he starts carrying on about, stuff. So it's like, wow. Then I go to this funeral. I start telling people what I do. And they're like, oh my God, yeah, no, send me, you got to send me your podcast. Like, I think so many more people are on our page now than ever before, right? Maybe they don't know where to go. It's really, it's really encouraging. It really is. And about frequency, let me just tell you, I didn't know, this is George's really good friend from childhood. I knew him. I went to a few parties, in high school with him, but I didn't know him, right? So I didn't really know his mom. So George says last week, or earlier this week, Stephen's mother died. We have to go up to Saratoga Springs. I was like, okay. So we go to this wake. I don't know what to expect. I know she's 97. Okay. I get to the coffin because it was a Catholic service. So it's an open coffin. And I'm looking at this woman and I'm like, she looks like she's in her early 70s. Now, I know when they fix people up, but we've all been to wakes. We know what people look like, right? And I'm like, holy shit, she was 97. Anyway, the family starts coming up. They start talking about her. I was never so touched in so long or ever, I have to tell you, by a person. This woman lived the most remarkable life, a simple immigrant from Ecuador. The thing she did with her life just as a mom and a grandma, no fear. Do you know where she was earlier this year? She's 97 and her best friend is 90. I looked at the friend and I was like, she's 90? She looks like she's in her 70s. They went on a cruise. They went on a river cruise. This woman traveled. She was involved. Everywhere she went, people knew her. And I'm thinking to myself, and you know what they said? They said her advice to everyone in the family was just love everyone. And if you can't get along with them and you don't like, I'm probably fudging it, and you don't like much about them, just try to love them anyway. And I was like, this woman was in a high vibration her whole life. That's why she didn't look old. And she wasn't sick. It just like all of a sudden something happened. I guess it was her time. A couple of days, she was gone. And I'm thinking, this is what we're meant to do. We're meant to help people, service. She would fly people in from Ecuador. They told a story of this young boy who was born apparently without an eye, like, you know what I mean? Like there was no eye there. And she convinced a New York surgeon. I don't know how she did this. She's like a tiny little bit of a thing. She convinces this New York surgeon to do surgery to put an eye, so he looks okay, right? He looks normal. You can't see, but, and he does it. And then they were talking about all these things she raised and containers full of clothing for this group and that group, and bringing people in her home. And this is like just this average woman. And I was like, this is what we're supposed to do. And if we do this and we live she obviously didn't have fear. Listen, how many of us have relatives, friends, even ourselves sometimes we're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, This woman, then he was talking a few years ago to her. He's like, I was thinking of moving to Florida. She's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm game. Like, she just was like, she was in New York. She moved to Saratoga. So I was so touched on so many levels because it made me realize that that's what we're here for. We're here to help people. We're here to stay in love, and we're here to just do everything out of this fear that they've taught us to have,
Well, yeah, I experienced that yesterday because I've got a birthday coming up in June. And although it's not a special birthday for age-wise, it's 26/06/26. And so the date was significant. So I was planning a bit of a family party up at my son's house. And I invited some relatives, I won't say any more from that, who have declined to come because my views are so radical that they're too frightened to come even to a family party in case they're contaminated by it.
By the words, by the thoughts, by the
Well,
concepts.
yes. I mean, the last time I was down there, you know, I was talking about Trump and things like this, and they're obviously very anti. And I mean, they're just just feel too frightened to come near me. The two concerned, I mean, they're young women, 29 and 33. They're not children, but they've said no. We don't want to come because we can't bear to be in your company because. And although at a party, I wouldn't be talking like that.
Right, of course.
But it just gets you. But just one other quick thing, and I don't want to monopolize stuff. You talking about funerals. There was a marvelous story that I sent to a friend. It was on Facebook this week. I don't know whether any of you saw it, because you know that bees have been in the news a lot over Trump and Charles and the visit. So there was a lady who was a beekeeper in Wales, and this will give you goosebumps. It did to me. She kept bees for 40 years. When she died, her son went and told the bees that she had died. And apart from the fact that there was quite a loud buzz, nothing happened. However, on the day of her funeral, the bees left the hive. They followed the coffin down through the Welsh Valley to the church. They stayed there till she was buried. They didn't sting or bother a soul. And there's photographic evidence of it. I don't think it's AI generated. They then flew back to the hive where they produced the most amazing honey that year.
Wow.
I mean, what a story. The bees honoured her because she had looked after them without any specialist equipment with her bare hands for 40 years. So they honoured her passing.
Wow.
Isn't that a beautiful story?
So beautiful.
We've had so much bee stuff lately and all that, and I found that you can't, I don't know if you can see that.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we can. But then
I'm going to take my background off just for a little minute because that you can't do anything.
Right.
Got a pound coin there.
Oh, right.
It's got a couple of bees on it.
Oh, lovely.
You can't see it properly. But yeah, I found that the other day and I thought, oh, I shall keep that safe.
I would, yeah. I mean, there's obviously more significance to bees than we've, you know, than the honey and the sting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know
that was just a lovely story.
That was beautiful. And I know just the healing power. Like I take propolis regularly, which is, I guess that's the hive, part of the hive.
Is that the pollen, the little granules?
I'm not even sure. I know it's not the honey, obviously,
No.
but it's remarkable.
Yeah.
We just feel better.
I take bee pollen every day. I sprinkle it on my food. And like for sometimes when, even if I like to have an avocado mashed on toast and I sprinkle the bee pollen on top.
Really?
And it's given me a great, and then I make all my own skin creams and stuff. And I use bee balm. I melt them in a double saucepan and I make all my own skin creams and I use bee balm in that as well.
Wow.
Because,
you
know,
have
I
to
work
give me
on
the recipe because your skin is beautiful.
I use my intuition. So I use tallow, castor oil, bee balm, and then for this particular one, then I just add frankincense. But yes, I use my intuition each time. The recipe slightly changes because I've learned to listen to my intuition as to what I need to put in.
That's wonderful.
Well, I think some of the things that are coming in with the new consciousness is we've been led to believe that we've got the 5 senses. And I think, because I've certainly noticed my intuition has strengthened massively to the point where the phone, I almost know when the phone's going to ring and who it's going to be. Friends turn up and I walk out and before I know who they're going to be before they get there. And I think that we need to trust it and learn to use it more. I'd like to develop telepathy that a bit more. That would be great. Yeah. But I think that there's more of this stuff that is going to come into us, and we just need to trust it and use it. I mean, if I'm worried, I everywhere I go, I just back it up with a different pendulum. I've got a pendulum everywhere, and if a thought comes into my head and I think, right, that sounds a bit weird, I'll check it and say, is it right? And if it says no, then I ignore it. But if it says yes, I get on with it.
Really? Well, we had Dr. and I want to hear what's on your list, Stu, on your notes, but we had Dr. Daryl Wolf on earlier this week, and I was really, I have my band, and I've been snapping away because there's so much truth to what he says about self-love, and and how we've all, again, we're not blaming, right? Our parents did the best they could, and they were, God knows what they were told, right? If you go by the idea that each generation gets a little better, right, than what they dealt with, and so on and so forth. And there's so much truth, and just, not to to give a little plug, obviously I started his workshop, and it's really amazing. He's so no nonsense, and just has such a way of just I just love how he says, just let it go. Just let it go. It happened, whatever happened, who cares? And of course, not to denigrate people who have experienced bad things, but once you deal and you heal, then you have to let it go, right? It shouldn't be the thing that you identify with, because you're so much more than that. And so to your point, I think as everybody's raising their own vibration, it's collectively affecting everybody, and it becomes contagious. And is he the one, Stu, that said that's why they separated us 6 feet? I think it was him, because of the range of the heart, right? So we couldn't feel each other's vibration.
Yeah, if you followed the rules, that was.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that's why they implemented that rule.
Yeah. Well, it's satanic connotations as well, wasn't it? 6 feet apart, 6 people, no more than 6 people in groups, someone else, I think. And our doctor over here, Shillery Jones, was on, I've got the clip somewhere, he's going, people need to get it into their head, these rules, it's 6, 6, 6.
Wow. Oh. Now, if you can't, see, I'm looking at all these things now, even the Obama stuff. And I'm looking at it with different eyes going, wait a minute. It's just seems so scripted, which leads me to then think, how long have the Patriots been in control? Because it's so absurd. You know what I'm saying? It's so in your face. It's so obvious. So that makes me feel even better that this has the control of the white hats and everything they're doing has been a lot long. Even if it wasn't fully done and everything, they had certain controls over things. We're realizing about the censorship.
Gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you listen to Sapioplex, you know who I mean.
Yes.
He takes it back almost to biblical times.
Yeah.
The movement has been afoot. So, I mean, I think that if you bring into consideration Tartaria, the mud floods, the hidden histories, all this possibilities that, I mean, I'm open to. There's a lot being hidden from us. Yeah. And this, I mean, I say to my family and I say to friends, this in many ways for me is the final battle for the soul of humanity. And I think this is a battle that's been going on a long, long time. And the fact that we hadn't won it, I felt was really holding back the growth of the planet and the galaxy that we're in. Because I read an interesting article, because you've heard of the Schumann resonance.
Yes.
I thought that the way they've described it, the Schumann resonance was affected by lightning and different things. But there's a new theory coming out that the Schumann resonance actually reacts to us. And it's our rising consciousness that is causing it to rise rather than our being affected. Because there's so many articles you see on Facebook and on Instagram where they're talking about the Schumann resonance. And everyone got this symptom. If you've got that symptom, it's because the Schumann resonance is there. But it's us who are affecting it. And so it's something I'm trying to get my head around.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I've always thought personally that the Schumann resonance, when we see high spikes in it, it's because of the people, sort of certain events going on that raise our consciousness, or, you know, you have fear. It's like on 9/11 that they measured these resonances and all these peaks and troughs. And I believe it's our, we the people have the power. definitely.
So yes, it is. Hey, so Stu, I mean, you're in England. Misty, which country are you in?
I'm in North Carolina in the U.S., Western North Carolina, in the mountains and valleys.
Right.
And the bee thing that you brought up is very interesting. I bought that that magnet that has been, and I bought it a long time ago, but I have it underneath when I sleep. And they use it at beehives. And this magnet, which is like a honeycomb shape, and it's probably about this big, maybe 6, 8 inches in diameter, probably more like 6. But in any event, if you put this magnet outside of a beehive, and by buying one, you help fund these magnets to go to other bee farmers.
I think I've heard of them, yes.
And this magnet, the bees love it so much that their productivity of honey increases like 20% double because of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does this magnet affect you?
Yes, it's supposed to be to do the benefits of the magnet for the body.
Productivity of honey.
Hang on, we've got an echo there.
Is that better?
Much better.
Yeah, I think so. Go on, sorry, Misty, carry on.
Yeah.
In any case, just like I wear magnetic bracelets, it benefits the body in the same way. And obviously it benefits the body of a bee because they're able to increase honey production.
Well, I think that was the whole thing about 100 years ago when we had the Tesla sort of magnetism route and all that, or the Edison electricity route and stuff. And the cabal took us that way, whereas we should have gone that way.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Simone. How are you? Muted. Still muted. There you go.
You can tell I've been out the loop for a little while, can't you?
Yeah. How you doing? Haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah, I've literally been out of the loop. I've not been paying much attention to anything really until the last few days. I've been doing a nervous system reset.
Oh yeah.
And it's been pretty full on. So
tell us about it. Go on. Yeah.
I've actually got a list. I've had to write everything down because there's so much. So I did a lot of research about, obviously, I've had some health issues, and everything that's been a problem has been related to nervous system deregulation. So I thought, right, I'm not going to the doctors anymore ever again. So I thought, right, we can fix ourselves. So I'm going to sort this out myself. So I did a lot of research. I took some bits and pieces from there. And so I start in the mornings with a fulvic acid and magnesium flake foot bath. So that's all your trace minerals and stuff like that, whilst meditating. Just paint that image in your mind. And the fulvic acid it's like black. So it's like shilajit. So it stains your feet as well, but I don't care. So that's morning. Then now the weather's nice as well. I'm doing a lot of grounding and take the dog to the park, do some grounding and breath work whilst out in the park. Come back, have another meditation after lunch, of course. I don't know, have you heard of Human Garage? Human Garage. They've got an app. It's basically fascia release.
Oh,
Yeah, one of my friends, Amy, does a lot of fascia release and stuff.
Yeah, and they get you into these really sort of weird positions that you have to hold, and then you do breath work, and then you twist more, and It looks easy when they're doing it, but when you do it and you have to breathe, because you know when you do breath work and you get heady sometimes, so you've got to deal with that whilst holding the position and everything. So I've been doing that. Lots of foam rolling, which has been a game changer. I've got to say it's been a game changer.
Yeah, I've got 2 foam rollers. It's like just any time my back goes out, I just get on my foam roller and all that, do it myself. I don't go to the osteopath or anything anymore. I'm done for life.
And stretching, foam rolling, stretching. I do that in the evenings. Pure tones and binaural beats. And then the things that I removed for the last 3 weeks, which I think all these little things have made a huge difference. Social media. I can't tell you how much better I feel for not going on social media, and I don't ever want to go back on it. I think
that's why my Facebook got shut down, number 8, about a month ago. And my mate set another one up for me. As soon as it went live, they banned me for 180 days. So I'm quite happy not to be anywhere near Facebook. It's fucking garbage anyway.
It's not even just Facebook. It's like, I think it's the whole action of the scrolling. I can feel my brain going a bit weird when I'm scrolling, like Substack. I like to read articles on Substack, but I can't even do that anymore. Yeah, politics for a while. I just shut all that off. I had a little bit of a meltdown with you, didn't I, Stu?
Yeah.
Synthetics. Now, what I mean by that is I read a really interesting article. I can't remember the lady's name now, but she was talking about, and we are in our community always banging on about we can heal ourselves. Our body knows exactly what to do. So why are we putting all this synthetic crap? Like I was taking methylene blue and I was taking lots of supplements and shit like that. So I've cut all of that out because it's synthetic at the end of the day. I've got a grounding sheet on my bed, made sure all my sheets on my bed are 100% cotton, just all these little tweaks and, you know, trying to eat healthy, but, you know, I like a pizza like the next person, so I'm not going to go mad. The only thing that I probably shouldn't be doing that I'm still doing is this.
But sorry about that. That's my fault and all, isn't it?
Stu, I was doing this long before I met you.
Yeah, but you knocked it on the head, didn't you? And then you said you've been watching me sitting here vape while I do this, and you went and got another one, didn't you?
Yeah, but that would be pathetic of me to blame you, wouldn't it? Because
I don't care anyway.
I think I just used you as an excuse to start again.
That's fine. I don't mind that either.
You know,
I also had a birthday, and my son bought me a brand new MacBook, which I'm talking to you on as we speak.
Nice.
Which has been a game changer because I can't sit down at a desk for very long.
Yeah.
So I've been doing I sort of do digital artwork and stuff like that. So I've been creating a lot, which is always good because if you can't do the things you love, it kind of affects your life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to.
So how do you feel now compared to how you felt a month ago when you were still doing all that shit?
Much better.
Good.
I mean, I have been tested. I haven't had much of a test as to whether someone's going to test me, but my landlord did yesterday and I managed to not have a meltdown about it. So, but my landlord tests me all the time. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's been okay.
So you've been quite out of the loop of what's been going on then, have you?
Well,
really?
I've been watching my staples, like you guys haven't been on, but I've been watching my Truth stream and Journey to Truth. So, you know, I've dipped in and out. I was listening to Truth stream actually, and with Gene Decode.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny because apparently Edward Snowden is Tesla now, isn't he?
Look, if so many people are saying so many things, you just have to take them on board.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it, really.
You know,
Good.
what you said about the synthetics, Simone, it's so funny because...
Oh, you're muted, Elisa.
Oh, sorry. Can
Oh, no, I could hear you then.
you hear me?
I could hear you then.
Oh, can you hear me, Simone?
Simone, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Is it my settings?
I don't know. Can you, Misty, say something? Can you hear Misty?
Misty,
Hi,
can you...
Simone.
No. Why
Oh,
can't
you
I
can only
hear?
hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on? Oh, Stu, what do I do?
I have no idea. Maybe go out and come back in. He's probably...
Turn it off, turn it on again.
Yeah, probably. That's the easiest bet. I mean,
I'll do that.
I can hear everyone.
I can too.
Oh, that's a bit big there, weren't we?
That's
Don't like that.
that's so interesting. That last little
Look, it's weird, really, because Dave and Rambo and all those guys have been having so many problems with Rumble and StreamYard. I was just watching their show from last night, the call-in show, and they're all talking about it. Beer at the Parade, Blue Sheet.
maybe it's like they're switching over and doing stuff, you know, like it may not be a bad thing per se. It may be listen, they're changing the frequencies in all, at least the US cities.
Well, or so we've been led to believe by one post that people read.
Right.
Something's changing.
But something's weird, like something.
I still can't hear her.
And so I think what I was saying, Simone, can you hear me now?
What's going on?
Wait, can you hear me, Simone? No. Are your speakers off? She can't hear us. Anyway, go on. She'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't remember. I lost my train of thought. We were saying
Talk about the frequencies.
Yeah. I listen, it makes sense. We don't have 100% proof, but it makes sense because whether it's being done somehow from a control grid or whatever, or it's just this idea, because like Shirley was saying, the Schumann resonance has been out of control. So something's going on with frequency, whether it's the awakening that we're causing it, whether there's also help we're getting, whether it has to do with the cities going back to being reset. There's something, And I don't know if anybody's noticed. Has anybody noticed that a lot of people aren't sick? I'm not talking about people who are always at doctors with chronic shit. I'm talking about like colds, flus. I haven't heard it like anything in the last number of months.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I have experienced allergy, a couple of days here and there, and other people as well, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. It's just kind of weird. Usually, I don't know, if you go back, you hear a lot about like, just, I don't know, colds and flus and I don't know. So there's something happening. I don't exactly know what it is, but it feels like we're moving in the right direction.
I've always taken supplements, but since I got sick last fall, when I got strep throat and a really bad cold twice, I've been taking the oregano with black seed oil capsules, and it has made a huge difference in my immune system. Wow, that's great. And it's supposed to be good for weight loss too. That doesn't really happen for me, but I really feel strongly that it's increased my immunity, and just another tool in the toolbox to ward off these future pandemics.
Yeah, the oil of oregano is really good. I have those capsules too. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be as strong as erythromycin. They did like a study. It's supposed to have the efficiency, the effectiveness. We'll see. So what is on your list, Stu? Because you had a really big list there.
Right, okay. I sent Simone a message. She's having a problem with her computer, obviously. Now, there's no point me going through these, right? Let's just talk about this and that. So I'm going to read everything off quickly in about 2 minutes, and anything I say that you want to talk about, just write down on a piece of paper, right? So lately we've had Stephen Colbert has finished his show. This David Rush from the CIA has been lifted with 303 bars of gold that he's been hiding. We've had a CIA whistleblower testify against Fauci. We've had a fourth assassination of Trump on attempt on Trump. We've got ticks, Ebola, and hantavirus, although their sort of hantavirus is disappearing a bit. Trump has been truthing a load of Q plus and where we go. All memes again. Trump's candidates are winning everywhere. We're seeing the Democratic Party, taken down. We're going to see the rhinos taken down as well, obviously. Mm-hmm. You've got all these MAGA is dead shills are out there. Democrats are melting down because they know nothing can stop what is coming. We've got this 23andMe. The CIA has been hunting, and Ancestry.com. The CIA has been hunting bloodlines and things. E. Jean Carroll has been put under criminal investigation for lying about what she said about Trump and the rare. Tony Blair from the UK, or Tony Blair, as I like to call him, has now come out and done a complete 180 against the net zero agenda, which is very interesting. I think Pam Bondi has been reinstated in another department, but I can't guarantee that. But she has just testified behind the scenes. We've got the at the White House, they're getting ready for the UFC fight, and they're building a stage that resembles what looks like a Stargate. Our dear friend Jordan has passed away, and we will be going on Ellen's show tonight. There's lots of stuff being dropped on aliens.gov. Trump's been posting loads of videos now and stuff about him walking along with tall green men. All the White House is posting about all this sorts of stuff about illegal aliens. The reflecting pool has nearly been finished, and all those waterfalls in DC now work completely different. We had all the Ronald McDonald's comms coming out. Lots of people are talking about time is speeding up. We're seeing people with videos about clocks are going faster and candles are burning at different times. Nick Shirley, we've all been tracking him across. He was in London at the Tommy Robinson March, which was really interesting that he turned up there. UFO files have been talked about on TV by Jesse Waters and other people talking about reptilians and stuff. It's all been pushed into the narrative. Mark Cuban, one of the biggest TDS Trump haters, has now been on stage with Trump. Trump says, he made a terrible mistake, and he's putting all his weight behind Trump. So has he been activated? Has he been flipped? Is that actually Mark Cuban or someone in a mask? Raul Castro has been indicted now. Spencer Pratt is doing an amazing campaign in LA, and it looks like he's going to win that. We've got loads of beekeeper comms. We had a great video of what if Trump is not a clown. I'm sure people have seen that I've played it a few times. We've got Minnesota fraud arrests happening. Trump is building a ballroom going down 6 floors, and it looks like to be a complete and utter military are they going to get rid of the Pentagon? Is that the new sort of military base? Looks amazing. Iran is being taken down. That's all been taken out of the city of London. Sasha Obama has been seen now walking about in a MAGA hat. Candace Owens has had Hunter Biden on our show. Tulsi Gabbard has resigned, but she's still got a month left. Loads of people are getting cancer. We've got Marsgate with what Vice Admiral Robert Horrod, what his name is. He was talking and his neck was going like this. Everyone's talking about that. And Samantha, Fox News just did a report yesterday that no one has seen Samantha Guthrie's mother, right? And we haven't heard from her for a while, but they said no one has seen her for 117 days. It's funny how they just do a new report and tell everyone that, don't they? So there you go. That's a little rundown of what's been going on in the last 3 weeks. Madness, isn't it? Simone, can you hear us? You're muted. Go on.
Elisa, can you speak?
Yeah, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
now.
Oh,
perfect. Okay, I want to touch on one of those. I was writing most of what you said down, but this is the one that made me curious, and it may sound. We saw a post, or at least I saw a post that had 4 particular people that have or their family member has cancer, right? I think one was Tulsi Gabbard's husband. I can't remember the other ones, but the one that struck me was Vanessa Trump, the former wife of John Jr. And that one I can't quite figure out. She was allegedly diagnosed with breast cancer. Any insights about what that means?
No.
Isn't the other one Susie?
Yes,
Wiles.
thank you.
Susie Wiles.
And they all had specific, right? It was all very specific cancer.
I had a theory about that. It was just a quick flash, and I thought, maybe they want to put all these people with cancer in front of the world because they're going to heal them.
Well, yes, but see, we have talked about this before. That when when King Charles, he might have even been Prince Charles at the time, got this cancer scare, and we had it with Catherine, didn't we? Princess Kate as well, that we were talking about at the time. Are these people being pushed into the public narrative now because they're going to bring out another vaccine that cures everyone from this cancer? But we believe, obviously, the White Hats, they've been able to cure cancer for a long, long time. Cancer 1939 Acts and all this sorts of stuff. So we believe that they are going to, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that's what they are going to do. With RFK Jr. and stuff like that, from a good point of view. Not like, we can do it this way. You don't need a vaccine for it,
Well, what's interesting is that most of these people, right, if you look at the geopolitical position of it, you could say, okay, these are supposedly, from what we understand, right, white hat people. So did that indicate that there was something bad about them? You know what I mean? Like maybe this idea, like remember in the old days when everybody got COVID, but I like this idea because we're moving into this era right now, especially with RFK and everything's coming out. And let's not forget about NESARA, right? Because even though they're not coming out and saying this, but part of NESARA is all these 6,000 patents and information, that's supposed to be really good on so many different categories of living. But, oh my God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine if they start telling the world?
If it's quite unusual. If you're leaving a job, in circumstances like that, because your partner's got cancer, you'd usually just say, or if you're in the public eye, they'd usually just say for personal reasons, wouldn't they?
Right. But like I said, the Vanessa Trump one threw me a little bit because you never really heard much about her, in terms of they were divorced and then he was with what's her name for a while, whatever that whole psyop was about with
Kimberly Goyle.
Thank you. Guilfoyle.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then now, didn't he just get remarried?
Yes.
Yeah, like a few days ago.
Yeah, well, wasn't Don Jr.'s wife? Wasn't she used to be with Gavin Newscombe or something?
Yeah, Kimberly.
Kimberly did.
Yeah, right.
She was married to him.
Yeah, okay. I just want to say something quickly about the cancer and those 6,000 patents. Josh Reed talks a lot about this. And as soon as you say AI to certain people, they're, the Antichrist, it's going to kill us all and all this sort of stuff. But it's who controls. Josh Reed talks about this in depth. The fact that AI is moving so fast, we're moving into AGI, artificial general intelligence. It's going to be so good. And he keeps saying that in the next few years, we are going to take a technological leap of 500 years into the future because of what they've hidden from us in the past. It's going to, it'll be like Star Trek stuff. I'm sure. Yeah, all your disease is gone.
Well, that's what I thought about these data farms that everyone's losing their shit about. What if?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with those yet. Obviously, a lot of people in panic station. But I don't know. I'll just ask you all the question. Do you think this 500-year leap is going to be done by AI? Is it going to be, with the 6,000 patents coming out, is it going to be some sort of benevolence coming in, i.e. all this disclosure we're hearing about, and they walk amongst us? We are definitely getting ready for something big.
I think it's a combination of all. I think it's all, somehow everything is connected and working together. Listen, I just had a thought. We've got July 4th coming, right? And we've talked so much and everybody speculated, like, is something amazing going to happen on July 4th? Or is that the start of something? Is it a combination like Stu? We were looking with Matrix Codebreaker, and even on the show, after he had done such a deep dive, we were still finding, comms, right? So this whole July 4th could very well be a lot of stuff, not just like one thing, you know, and then every time you think that's it, there's something else. So it could be the beginning of Nasara, right? It could, you know, with the 180 days. But what if 120, excuse me. What if there's going to be some health announcement? You know, maybe everything else is going to happen over time, money, this, that. But what could you think of besides, and I would venture to say it's more than people's pocketbooks. What would be the thing that would be the most amazing thing for everyone to rejoice about?
Yeah, well, just quickly, I think drip, 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 flood. When that flood happens, it's not just going to be one truth coming out. We're coming out thick and fast, one after the other. And I still believe that the catalyst for that is the cancellation of the 2020 election, right? That I believe personally that will come out first before cancer cures and anything like that. But
really,
I just say that I think when it starts, it's going to keep coming. You know, Trump goes, "You're going to be so tired of winning." Yeah, it's going to be like that.
Maybe in terms of the advanced technologies for health and stuff like that, maybe we've just never really had the infrastructure for that, and that's what these data centers are for.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, one of the things I heard two people talking about the data centers is the fact that if it was somebody who has built a data center before, and he said normally the amount of fiber optic cable that you order for a data center is like it's massive. And he said, I was going through the order books for, you know, the amount of stone and cement and concrete and this and that and the other. And he said it was using, it ordered as much fiber optics cabling as you'd maybe have at your local shop. So he said, that's a data center. So he said, I don't know that they are all data centers.
Or maybe that bit of cabling is just for the tea room or the office, right? And they don't need fiber optic cables anymore because the technology about to be released doesn't use it.
Yeah,
it's all wireless. It's all, you listen to General Stephen Quast talking.
He's brilliant.
About,
I like him.
You know, all our phones charging from the air, from the satellite.
I
Whether
know.
he's, you know, satellites, whether he's talking about ether, you know, which has been hidden from us. Can we all get free electricity from the ether around us? And this stuff. But our development as human beings, spiritually and physically, has been hindered by the cabal for at least 100 years.
Yeah.
At
If
least.
they weren't hindering us with putting all this shit in our food and the water and spraying us in the sky, how much more advanced would we be without that anyway?
Yeah.
So they say that data center is the size of Manhattan, right? That big Palantir one. How big's Manhattan?
How many miles? I mean, it's not really that, it's huge, but it's not that big. You know what I'm saying? It's not like some other parts of the country. So
A couple of miles across.
size.
I mean,
22 miles. 22
Maybe
miles.
it's just one massive hospital full of med beds.
maybe it's one massive prison for fucking serpents.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, I don't think with a lot of the, like, just my opinion, I don't think if they're going to have a prison for whatever the hell they are, they're going to keep them on the earth. And that, I'm going back to Trump saying,
I was just about to say then it's going to be the moon.
yeah, or some space, whatever.
Or Saturn. They all worship Saturn. Why don't you go there? I just see, the thing is, I still believe, I don't know how they're going to do it, but you can't have this evil energy.
That's
about
right.
anymore. So whether you've got to execute all these people for what they've done, you know, there's different tiers of what people have done, isn't there? You know, just down to the people that volunteer to help get people vaccinated. You know, I mean, are they going to be in trouble, right, for doing that? But you can't execute someone for that when they have pure good intentions of heart, surely. So there's going to be a tier system to it. But any of this evil, they've got to eradicate it once for all. So you wouldn't just go and dump them all on Saturn, just in case they manage to survive and get back here sometime. You know.
Yeah, and but I always remember what he said, and I don't remember what speech it was when he said, "We don't even want their remains here."
Oh, Trump, yeah.
Yeah. So what is that saying, right?
Exactly, just what I've said. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, guys, it's 11:11. I just noticed. FYI.
For you.
At least here, at least on Eastern.
Yeah, 10
time.
past 4 here. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, the alternative is that we raise our frequency to such an extent that they can't survive in it.
Well, that's the whole point, right? That we've heard, spiritually speaking.
Well, if they survive, whatever entities these are, right? And I mean, potentially not humans, right? If they survive on our bad energy, loosh, which is why they keep us all in fear. If none of us are in fear anymore, and we're all vibrating on such a high level, maybe they'll just all die anyway.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if we're at that level, we also aren't susceptible to disease.
Yeah.
So
that's correct.
It could be maybe these centers do have something to do with med beds or frequency or something like that, because most people, I would say like 90, maybe higher, don't understand the power of our consciousness and frequency. They don't understand that, you know, they just have not been educated, and they still detach themselves, like their body just operates on its own. You know, they're victims of their own bodies. Like these things just happen. They don't understand the mind, body, spirit connection. Like there's just so much that people have to learn. And so this would be a completely new concept that would have to be translated to them as like a healing cure, you know, like it's going to take a while for people to catch up.
Yeah.
I have noticed a few things around my local area. A lot of very, very drunk people. I know it's summer and everyone's out drinking in the nice weather and stuff like that, but like ambulance is getting called because people are just face planting, literally smashing their face open, tripping over a curb because they're so drunk. And it's like, and I'm the kind of person, I'm the first one over. I'm like, oh God, are you all right? Let's call an ambulance. Like, and this is like a 60-year-old man, you know, it's not like a teenager or anything. And there's been quite a lot of that sort of, it's like people can't deal with the energies. So they're just like, meh. They've got no control over their limbs and stuff, like a toddler.
Well, things are certainly moving rapidly.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, just me reading that list off, I mean, every single day there's something new happening now.
There is.
Or 2 or 3 things happening.
Yeah. I mean, because I got called out by a call like I did last time, because I wanted to say to Simone, I mean, I drink loads of lemon balm because that is fantastic healing for your nerves. So, and I think that our nerves are really badly affected by everything that's going on at the moment. So I grow my own lemon balm, and I go out and I drink mugfuls of it every single day. So do try and look out for lemon balm.
Okay.
It's fantastic. I mean, I just add some honey to it. I mean, today's mixture is I went out and foraged. It's lemon balm, nettle and mint with a bit of ginger in it. And then I just have a local honey. And so I've been drinking that all day today. But lemon balm is brilliant for when you're feeling stressed out.
So what is lemon balm? Is it just the juice of a lemon?
It's like mint. But when you do that to the leaves, it smells lemony.
Oh.
And it's just a herb you grow in the garden.
It's just like leaves, right? It's like
I just take the leaves, and I'm trying to grow enough that I can dry it to keep it going through the winter. But yes, I use the lemon balm, and it's really good. It calms you down and helps keep you.
I'm gonna get that today.
It's really very good. Yes, I can recommend lemon balm. It's fantastic.
And the mint, you just use regular mint, like
well, I mean, I'm growing all sorts. I've got spearmint, peppermint, ordinary mint, and the other day I invested in some chocolate mint, which you can actually grow as and I had a choice. I had to be careful with my money, my pension, but she was selling apple mint and chocolate mint as a plant growing. So I'm going to experiment. So I've planted it out, and I've got the chocolate mint growing, and I'll let you know when it's grown big enough that I can taste it. I'll let you know.
Yeah, good. Good. So,
yes. Go on.
I mean, anything else on that list then that I read out? There's loads of stuff on there. What has got your attention? Everyone? Cuba. Yeah, because Nick Shirley was there, wasn't he, before we went to London?
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. Someone should have a Nick Shirley tracker, like Santa Claus going across the sky and Christmas Eve, like that. You know.
I'm sure someone's on it already.
I was happy to see him out and about with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you still, there's part of me that still says, so many people say we're watching a theatre, we're watching a movie. And it does make you wonder, because some of the stuff that is said, you know, like they banned Eva Vladingerbrook. And I mean, a more innocent, lovely looking lady, but she was banned from the country.
Yeah, she wasn't allowed in, was she? Keir Starmer.
No, I know.
And that
bizarre.
Belgian politician as well.
That's right. Yes. But I
But
mean,
we've got free speech here.
Oh yeah, of course we have.
But I said all the time, we are going through the Biden years in the UK.
Yeah,
Right? I don't think
so.
Keir Starmer has got any power, even whether that is Keir Starmer or not. We all talk about these sorts of things, but he's doing an absolutely perfect job of destroying the Labour Party,
Yeah.
right? Which is what Joe Biden was doing to the Democratic Party over here, right? So if you can't see that this is a military operation, I do believe some of these people in positions of power are still those people. Right? I don't think everyone's been taken out, everyone's acting, and everything is a movie, right?
No.
But you need to take certain people out. Keir Starmer, right? You can look at this two ways, right? We're right. Patriots are in control. Trump and the White Hats are doing this military operation, right? Worldwide. However, it says in the Q drops, military civilian alliance.
I
right?
agree.
We the people are the plan. We the people are right. Need to rise, right?
Yep.
Set this power and make a fucking stand, right?
Yep.
That is one. Say we're all wrong, right? And Trump and the military and Q are not doing any of this, right? And what we're seeing is Keir Starmer, controlled by the deep state, doing an absolutely worse job. In that scenario, we, the people, need to stand up and rise and say we're not doing it anymore. So whatever is going on, it's down to we, the people, standing up. You cannot keep looking the other way.
Yeah.
No, but then if you look on YouTube, have you seen Combat Ready Headquarters?
No, I don't think I've seen that. I don't watch a lot on YouTube, if I'm honest with you.
Well, I know I try not to, because I've got a subscription for Rumble, but not YouTube. But there's a lot of AJ Roberts was around during the lockdowns, and he's now gone in a more spiritual direction. But if you remember, during the lockdowns on the marches, he got together a lot of veterans. They went along on the marches, and although they were totally non-violent, if anyone came in trying to cause problems, they just quietly surrounded them and looked at them, and it melted away. But he's been in contact with people across the forces, some who are still active duty, some who've retired. They said there is a massive amount of military retraining. And if you watch Combat Ready, he said, we're getting ready for it. There's a civil war brewing in Britain. And he said, but don't worry, all the ex-veterans and people, we're here and we're ready. So
are these the guys, all the guys that are meeting up in their local fields and training?
Apparently, yes. They're doing all sorts of stuff. But Combat Ready covers it all quite well. He posts most days as to what he's doing and what's going on. And there's 2 or 3 other people. I like following, I don't know if you've seen Watchman. He's the one who is watching all the stuff that's going on with the boats and the illegal crossings. And he's very good as well. But there's a lot of ex-military now who are operating in Britain and who are ready. And I think that there's stuff coming off.
I do. I mean, even with this plan, I still believe the military is the only way. But it's got to get to a level. I mean, I can see it being on the brink of civil war, right? When people are coming out of their houses with torches and bats and all this sort of stuff. That is potentially when you might see an EBS fire that tells everyone to get back indoors, right? And that will tell everyone what's been going on, because then the military will know that we, the people, have risen to the level we need to be at for them to come in and do all this stuff. Whether we're going to have 10 days of darkness, or Trump's going to make the tweet, you know, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. All these sorts of things, right? I want to see the EBS go off. It is my dream, but it needs to be at a certain point. They can't just flick it today, can they?
No.
You know?
No, it'd interrupt our conversation for a start.
Yeah, you've got 40 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, put it this way, it's all very well saying military is the only way, but they can only do it, as Riccardo Bossi says, when we have reclaimed our sovereignty and our humanity, and know what it is to be human, and be prepared to stand up and do the job that we're meant to do as sovereign people, running our lives as properly. So
Exactly.
The military might clear the decks, but we have to be ready to stand up, to step in when they finished. Otherwise, we're back where we started.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit more sort of people being woken up to things before, because if Trump just went, right, that's it, EBS or whoever, Q, whatever, and like most people in this country anyway have got TDS still, you know, so they're just going to think, oh, here we go, we told you he was a dictator, blah blah,
Right.
you know. So I think it's going to be a little while yet if that does happen.
Yeah, and remember, we were sort of activated by the military, if we really think about it. I mean, whether it was Q or, you know, listening to General Flynn basically telling us that there's a whole, you know, lot of digital soldiers out there, like, you know, they used the mind control on us too for the good reason, you know, and we took that up with our mission.
There's a comment here from Sleeping Giant.
Stu, did you go to the rally?
Hang on, right? The EBS is already happened.
I can't hear you now. I can't hear Stu now.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
Oh, for God's sake. It's got to be my new laptop, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, anyway, Sleeping Giant just said the EBS has already happened, but nobody took it seriously.
Gosh.
Well, I
never heard it.
No,
well, when was that? When was that EBS that we missed?
Yeah, if you can put some details in there.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that. And my point is to that, if the EBS has already happened and no one took it seriously, it wasn't a very fucking good EBS, was it? Obviously, you know.
And as Jason Q says, everything has to happen twice. So I guess we got to wait for the second one.
So if that is the case, right, we've obviously got to have another one.
I'm just going to say bye-bye.
Can you not hear us?
Apparently not.
You can't hear us.
Oh, what a shame.
Brand new Apple Mac, bless her.
But then the internet is playing up. I mean, I was trying to listen to Open Lines this morning when I woke up, and it just kept going blank all around our area. The internet. I mean, I checked my speed and I was on like 520 to 600, so the speed is fine. But everybody in the area is complaining the internet is playing up like mad.
But Simone's just put in the private chat, I'll bid you farewell, fucking technology. So there we go. What were you just saying there, Shirley?
You were saying just about the internet playing up, but yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So I am 22 minutes into Open Lines from last night, and the screen went blank for a while.
That's
it just
right.
come up with one ball. That wasn't your internet. That was theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%. Because it happened on my screen. And they all came back on, and they're all talking about it. You know, mine's still up and running, mine's still going. Because they all had a problem last week. It cut out 30 minutes of Dave's show.
Okay. But I mean, lots of people around here have been complaining around my area that the internet isn't working properly. And I just put it down to that this morning. But it cut out about 10 times. I got 3/4 of the way through, and then I thought I really ought to be getting up and getting going. So I haven't finished it all, but
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, well, he just put in here, he was always talking about Queen Romana, clearly said after the flag burn in Ottawa on February 3rd, 2022, that she was the EBS. But, you know, I've not heard anything of Queen Romana for ages. We're all watching that unfold at the time. I don't put any of my attention to that, really.
No,
You know?
I haven't. No.
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 Yeah,
You
I was
know.
hoping more people from the live chat would join us today. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's people are still, oh, I'd love to come on, but I don't want to. The StreamYard link is in the top of the Rumble chat. If anyone wants to jump on, you are more than welcome. You know,
yeah,
I'd love to see you here.
Yeah, because Badger in the chat yesterday Badger Brock was saying,
Yeah.
have you got a family chat? Is the one coming up? And I messaged straight
Oh no,
away.
he put in the chat, didn't he? That I'd like. Can you do a round table with 5 to 7
right,
people or
yeah.
something, right? And I Badger's in a chat now, and I said, send me an email at my email address, stewiem333@gmail.com, and we'll discuss it. I haven't had an email, but yeah,
No.
Anyone's welcome on this. This is why we do this show, because I mean, even tonight I'm going to go back into Jason Q's Zoom because me and Elisa have got to go on a show tonight. Ellen Papa, Truth Teller Tales, is doing
Yes.
on our Rumble channel. She's doing a little tribute to Jordan Clark. It's going to be about an hour long, I think, and it's 11 o'clock for me here, so I've had to go on somewhere near the front. But yeah,
well, I was going to say it's 11 o'clock for you. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I thought, gosh, that's late. I mean, really, you both work very hard. So thank you for all that you do, because, you know, when I look at you on Telegram, the amount of stuff you're posting, do you like that Axios chap that you're posting?
Right, I've got my eyes on that. Now, that was like those sort of posts coming from that Axios 2B account are very similar to the posts that used to come from Q the Storm Rider all the time.
I know the one.
Now,
Yep.
Right now, Q the Storm Rider doesn't really make those long posts anymore. I used to read loads of those out.
I did.
So I'm side-eyeing that account. I'm making some of those posts because they all sound great. You know, a lot of the time it's things. Q the Storm Rider now has got a couple of channels, but he normally does a 30 to 40 minute thing on his Patreon as well with video and stuff. But yeah, the information, if the information is good, right, I've got my eyes on it until I think actually you said that about that. I'm not listening anymore. But yeah, I like to follow the account. But yeah, as soon as I get up in the morning, I'll put the computer on, I go through all my Telegram. That's the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I look at it, I think, oh gosh, Stu's been busy. Look at all this stuff he's posted. I'm thinking to myself, gosh, it does take a long time to do as well. It's quite time consuming.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I'm working. I just feel like I'm learning and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't completely isolated myself. You know, I don't want to have normal chat about crap, really. I've got some very good friends, you know, quite a decent handful of friends that we all meet up once a month, but we all chat about this. We've got a private little chat group and stuff, and it's great. But you know, I'm putting my attention to this because it's necessary, and all the time Elisa and I are helping anyone like yourself, Shirley, but then you coming on here, Shirley, you're helping other people yourself. And that's what
hopefully. Although I was disappointed because on my last chat, apart from the fact that I told all my family that I was on, none of them watched it, or they all asked what it was. My friends did, and I had some quite interesting comments. But I then set out and I went round all my area trying to see if I could set up a community group, just to start, as I said, talking about community matters, and then maybe leading them on into more in-depth conversations. And the response has been lukewarm. And you think to yourself, you know, you put this energy in, is it worth it? So I must admit, I've been rejigging a few things just recently because, you know, you do think to yourself, if unless you get some feedback that's positive, it's a lot of work going around seeing everyone and saying, you know, would you like to start having meeting as a community and talking, but just about our own community matters to start with, and then hopefully leading it on, you know, as to some of the things that we're interested in. But it's hard work.
Yeah. Oh, it is hard work. I mean, look, even when I started, I decided to sort of like do my lives, actually start going live, and I was doing it on Facebook and stuff. It's pretty demoralising, even when some of your closest friends that you're sitting there talking to a view counter of naught. Do you know what I mean? But it never ever stopped me, because if I had stopped, I wouldn't be here now talking to you guys. And you know, we've got plenty of people watching this, loads of stuff going on in the comments, and it's good.
Right. How did you meet Elisa?
Right.
Hang on one sec. I'll be right back, guys. My cat is getting into something he should.
Yeah, your cat's a nutter, right?
Yeah.
Basically, I was sitting here watching Dave Open Line calling show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In about September. What's before?
Yeah, September. That's when the movie went.
Yeah, no, it was about end of July, August, something like that. Carol Maureen Freeson. You know Carol, do you? She's got the healing centre in Costa Rica. She's been on our show and stuff.
Yeah.
Lovely lady. She phoned in and basically said, we are trying to make a movie. It's called Dear Mr. President. It's with Mel Carmine, etc. And we need podcasters from all around the world to send in a 45-second clip and all about how you've been censored. So I was sitting here. I was on my second bottle of red wine and I thought, I'm doing that. I've got all Carol's details. Sat here, took a clip, just sitting here like this, and sent it off to her email address. Thought nothing about it. She sent me a message back the next day. Mel loves your video, but it's 1 minute and 20 seconds long. Can you get it under 45 seconds? And can you please put a share on? Right, because I was sitting here, it was sweltering. I had no top on and stuff. She said, it's going to the president, which was hilarious. Anyway, so I did another one and sent it in. Through that, all the shows I was watching, I started getting mentions about, the film. Stewie from England, Stew's News, he's coming on. I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to be
well
film.
done.
Anyway, so it went on like that. I had to do a couple of interviews with Mel Carmine in the run up to this show. And Elisa was one of the sort of co-producers for that, weren't you? And it was basically the film came out, and I think I only did 2 interviews with Mel beforehand, but after the film came out, we all had to get together to do a round table. And then a lot of people were saying
it was like an after party because Carol and I were co-producers. And we put together like a Zoom, I think it was a Zoom after party. The movie came out on the 9th. And I think this must have been like the Friday night of whenever that was.
Yeah, so we're doing this round table.
What year was this?
This is 2025.
Last
September.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Last year. So while we're doing this round table, everyone's saying things and I'm saying things.
It was right after Charlie Kirk got shot.
I know.
That's right, yeah. Elisa's eyeballing me. I'm eyeballing what she's saying and stuff like that. She got hold of me afterwards and said, do you want to, have a chat? So we did. We just did a 2-hour chat, didn't we, or something?
Yeah.
I was going to put online and all that. Elisa was going, no, we'll do it properly. And we just did it off, really, because we're just so on the same wavelength. Then we were doing
I was like, did you buy that? Because we were very quiet, because everyone was like, oh my God. And they were like crying and upset over Charlie's,
I know.
death.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm not saying anything, because the second I heard it, I was like, that is a psyop, and I don't believe it. And then Jaco was on like in 5 minutes laughing that it was fake. So I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to, people were emotional. And then as soon as we got on, I was like, did you buy that? And he's like, not really. And then we just kind of bonded because we realized how similar our views were.
Yeah. So we started our podcast and we run doing one show a week.
Oh, right.
On the
October
Thursday.
9th, right? Is that the right date? October?
Something like that. So October, November, December. Yeah, we've only, about 8 months been podcasting, haven't we? Something like 8-9 months.
Yeah.
So I only met Elisa in person when I went to the Awakening Summit.
I know, I gathered that. Yes.
Yeah. But it was great. So basically on a Thursday, we started doing it. And then on a Tuesday, we started doing a guest show. But then we started
let's get some guests on. So that was Tuesday.
Yeah, then we had a Tuesday, and then we were getting guests on a Monday as well. But now we've taken over from Mark Abram. We do respect on a Monday, so we have got guests on, but it's more in honour of saving the children, that sort of thing.
Course.
Wednesday we have on Matt Geiger every week. Thursday we do this, and now I've got a spin-off show, Join the Queue, with the Maestro and Charlie Foxtrot. On Friday, we do Jason Q every other week and Red Pill and Renee. And every other Saturday we do this. And then tonight we've got to go on with Ellen.
That's right.
Just, it's going to be a little short show for us just to make an appearance.
It's pretty full on for you both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing a small week is 5 shows and a bigger week is about 9 shows. But I love it.
Gosh. Yes, I bet you do. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably would enjoy something like that as well. So as I said, I try to catch whenever I can, whenever you're on live, and contribute where I can. And as I said, I'll do my best to be of any help that I can. Well,
Oh,
if there's anything
Wait,
that I can do.
What's your name in the chat? Shirley Schooling, isn't it?
Yes, Shirley Schooling. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's that was my married name. I was born Shirley Tom in Cornwall. And then in my first marriage, I was Shirley Roberts, and now I'm Shirley Schooling, but my husband died in 2019. So that's fine. No, he had dementia. He would have struggled with the lockdowns because he wouldn't have understood why people couldn't come and see him and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he passed when he did. And now I live on my own, and I'm fine with it. I've got used to it, and I'm fine. And it gives me the freedom to be able to do things like this and to concentrate on trying to, yes, just get myself better and live as good a life as possible. So it's interesting.
well,
I do think like the internet and WhatsApp calling, where you could call anyone for free on video all around the world throughout the whole of that lock time, was the White Hats were behind it. That kept people's morale up, kept people going. You stopped people feeling so isolated. Imagine if you only had a corded phone like the old days and the BBC throughout that time. Yes,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, during the lockdowns, because my husband died in September 2019, my kids, I've got 4, and they're not all in this country. They realized that I was going to be on my own in January, February, for the first time in my life, pretty well, not being able to go out and visit friends and do things. So they set up the WhatsApp, and we did it every morning at 9:30 for months. And what was lovely is that they all got to know each other better, because they're all family. They've got children and everything else. That they're working and they're busy. And most of the time, I just said, "Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you." And then I just sat back and listened to them all chat. And as you say, it was brilliant being able to get people in contact. It's marvelous.
Yeah, it really tightened the world. But what you said before about how you can help, when you come on here, just your energy and your vibration is great. But you always add something from like the health standpoint, right, Stu? Like the lemon balm today, and I'm going to go right out to the nursery because I've always looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, and I'm just going to buy it.
I mean, one of the things I was in the alternative medicine business, or the God's original medicine, not as a therapist, but as an administrator in our local area. I was a trustee for 4 different centres. And so I studied alternative medicine, but I've never been a practitioner. So I've always been aware of all these things, but I've only recently taken all this up. But with lemon balm, what they're saying is, you take some leaves and you put them. I've got a coffee cafetiere that I no longer use. I don't drink coffee anymore, except very occasionally. And you put it in, and then I walk around my garden, and my plants talk to me now, and they tell me which one is needed for today. So I pick a few leaves, put them all in, pour the hot water, bless it all, put the hot water on, and then just keep adding hot water through the day. So although the flavor might get a little less, in fact, the essence gets stronger.
Yes.
So you can use it all through the day. So yes, I've studied a lot of health, because I feel that part of being sovereign is, as I said before, is taking responsibility for ourselves. Yes, if you fall off a roof, you're run over by a car, chewed up by a lion, then the NHS, as we're very lucky in England, they do a brilliant job. They're very good at putting you back together. But for everyday stuff, when I ended up in hospital in November 24, they did wonders. They did all these tests on me to prove what it wasn't. They wanted to put me on a lot of medication. And as I said to them then, look, what I'm seeing now, unfortunately, is the lifestyle choices I have inadvertently or consciously made over the last 50, 60 years. It's not up to you to put it right. It's up to me. Yeah. I have got to make that decision. And this is part of what I feel sovereignty, when Trump says he's giving the power back to the people, it's on so many different levels, including health sovereignty. And I'm not recommending anybody should stop taking medicine or anything that their doctors have put them on. Obviously, I'm not a practitioner. I'm not a doctor. But for my own personal self, I have tried to take responsibility. I did all the loads and loads of research, and it seems to be working. I'm getting a lot better. And, you know, I'm trying to put it back myself, but it does take a while to undo 50 to 60 years of.
Yeah. Well, anything you can
battles.
add in that way is so helpful, you know, and like, here's a situation, like I had this, you know, got nervous because I was having this floater. I didn't know it was a floater. I thought it was. I went to one of those emergency, like, you know, first med places, and they were like, you're in the wrong place. You could be having a detached retina. And I was like, what?
I know, yeah.
So I went to the emergency room, which, by the way, thank the good Lord, these people were amazing. They were spiritual. I mean, when do you go to a hospital and get that, you know? And it was
Not
just
often.
a good experience, and I was in and out. However, they said, just check with your ophthalmologist, just, you know, just to make sure, follow up. But it just seems like a float. Okay. I go to her. I've known this woman for a long time. She's, of course, I don't know if you heard, like we're in there and she's like, oh, what's going on? And she's like, what do you think of Trump? Like, it was like all these like little conversations, you know, because we hadn't seen each other in about 15 years. But she says to me, you know, I'd make an appointment to go get this. I don't even know what it's called. It's this retinal freaking scan. I was like, okay, I'm just on autopilot for a few minutes. And I go to the girl and she's like, oh, very sweet. She's like, just plan, you're going to be here like 2 hours and they're going to like inject a dye. And I was like, what?
Oh yes, it's not clever.
I'm thinking, you know, after I got out of there, and I'm like, they did this sonogram in the hospital. My optic nerve looked good. My retina looked good. This guy was just out of his league and, you know, panicked for me. I've got a floater. I'm getting all these, you know, ways that people are suggesting, the castor oil, the this, or that, right? And I'm like, this is to get a baseline. So I'm like, I was talking to George yesterday. I'm like, what do I need a fucking baseline for? If something happens, it happens. What are they going to do? Go, oh, this is where you were 5 years ago. Well, what good does that do me? Who gives a shit, right? So I'm like, why should I'm doing all the natural stuff. I don't know. I think I'm going to just cancel this because I can't see the anxiety, the nervousness to do this.
But I mean, we all have floaters. I've got floaters as well.
Yeah.
But I did have, like you, I had an eye test a couple of weeks ago. And my optician, because I put it in the comments at the time, he was also asking me about Trump because I was wearing my proud conspiracy theorist hat when I went in there.
Good for you.
And we were chatting about it. But he said, look, you must be doing something right because your floaters have decreased. And he said, you've got no signs of macular degeneration and your eye pressures are so much better. So you've got your blood pressure down. I've got that down by just adding salt to my water.
Okay.
So I drink because like in 2017, I had a mild heart attack. First thing they do is put you on a saline drip.
I know.
And
then
so
they tell you don't take salt. Don't take salt.
Yeah, I know. But if you watch Dr. Brian Ardis and there's several others that are around, they're all saying that that's one of the lies we've been told. So by adding a pinch of salt, I mean, I drink, you know, a big thing of water and I add about half a teaspoonful of salt to that.
What salt do you use? Do you use like a Celtic salt or
Celtic sea salt? Are you?
Himalayan?
Yeah, I was. But then I was watching Emma Voisey. She's a very good health practitioner. And she did a lot of testing. And she said, unfortunately, Celtic sea salt has got a lot of heavy metals in it.
Oh.
And they did a lot of testings in the lab. And the only one that is really good is Malden sea salt.
Malden?
Yes, Malden, it's called. I think whether it's a British one or not, I don't know, Stu, but it's called Maldon, Malden sea salt.
So what about pink Himalayan? Is
Well,
that?
she said
No.
that is also. She said no, that's also because I used that
No,
for many
because
years.
it's all, yeah. Yeah.
So
Because I use
she
that to
recommended
cook.
that.
You're saying no. Okay.
No,
So-
I mean, I've got, because I distill all my water, I've got some Celtic sea salt. It's got 82, I think, minerals in it. So and I don't guzzle it down like that. I have a little bit. Normally in the morning, I have a glass, whether I have juice or water in it, but I have some lemon juice in it, some cayenne pepper, a couple of drops of methylene blue, and some Celtic sea salt in it. Something else, I think, as well. Oh, a bit of apple cider vinegar, straight down. Because you shouldn't get up and start smashing the coffee down.
Well, no, I don't. I don't at all. One of the tips I picked up was for many, many years, I've always drunk hot water, started the morning off with hot water with lemon and ginger. But it has affected my teeth because it's quite, so if you get a lemon, and you wash it, cut the ends off and freeze it. And then what you do is each day you grate it, because apparently most of the benefit for the lemon is in the pith and the peel. So I drink a large glass of water with that some grated lemon in, and the salt every morning, along with my Lugol's iodine, because most people are short of iodine. So that's how, I try to drink at least 2 of those a day. So, and I doubt.
What kind of iodine, or what iodine do you use? Like, is there a
Lugol's, because Lugol's it's called, that you can get via different sources. When I had that heart attack and I had a CT, an MRI scan, they picked up that I got some nodules on my thyroid. So when I was later called back for a biopsy, which was one of the most frightening experiences I've ever had, but never mind, that's another matter. The consultant rang me a bit later on in the year and said, look, we've had a look at the results of your scan. It wasn't conclusive. We need to have you back in urgently because we think you might have thyroid cancer. So they made a date for me and said, you've got to be there. And I said, no, I'm not coming for it. And they said, well, you better have a good reason. I said, yes, it's my husband's funeral. And so they said, right, that is a good excuse. You don't need to come. We'll contact you a week or 2 later. Well, then we went into 2020 and the lockdowns. Anyway, to cut a long story short, around about by about 24, I think it was, or maybe early 25, I went back for a CT scan, and through the use of castor oil, I have shrunk the nodules, and they're now almost non-existent.
So what do you do with the castor oil? You put it topically?
I apply it topically over my throat every night.
Yeah, see, I made a castor oil balm for it's like an ibuprofen rub, and it's got 3 things in it. One's turmeric, one's cayenne pepper, one's something else. They're all orange, right? And
if you do add black pepper
to hospital with arthritis.
Yeah, add a touch of black pepper to it, because black pepper really makes turmeric work 100% better, 117% better.
Really?
Yeah, black pepper with turmeric is what really makes it work.
Yeah. Now, I'll just go back to the iodine as well, because we've discussed this before, but all bread used to be made with iodine, didn't it? And then in the 80s, they changed
bromine or whatever.
Bromine or bromide they put in it.
Yeah.
But this is why a lot of people, the smell of freshly baked bread is lovely, isn't it? But as soon as you eat some types of bread and stuff, you feel groggy and full and bloated and this sort of stuff. But I've got some Lugol's iodine in the cupboard somewhere that I've had for ages. But how did you say that is the best way?
So when I first started using it, again, I used my pendulum, and I held the bottle in one hand and I asked how many drops. So when I first started, I was on 20-30 drops a day in the water. You can always do a test by painting some on your skin. If it disappears within a few minutes, then you're very, very short of iodine. But if it's still there a few hours later, then you can tell how long it takes to disappear, because your body absorbs it. So now I find that because I've been working on in believing my intuition and using it more, as I reach for the iodine bottle in the morning, the number of drops I need comes into my mind. If it's a bit extreme, again, I get my pendulum out and say, is that really right? But it's anything between 7 and 12 drops a day now I take in my water. It just depends how stressed I am, I think.
So you mix your morning elixir basically is it warm water?
No,
room temp?
As I said before, I strain the water. I store it overnight on shungite, because shungite has such healing properties. I then put it into my hydrogen water bottle, and then when I pour it into the mixture, I always bless the water and I say, thank you for the memory. Thank you. Carry my love in your memory through my body and out into the wider universe. So that because water has an amazing memory. That's why homeopathy works. That's the work of Vida Austin and all the different people who are talking about it, like in the telepathy tapes. So I bless the water and let it carry that memory through me. So I just have a pint of temperature, warm, room temperature water with those things in it.
So are you still drinking tap water?
Yes, but as I said, I filter it through a specific filter, and then I store it overnight on shungite. Shungite completely.
How do you do that? I know you're explaining it, but how do you store it? Like, what is it? Is it just?
I'll take it and I
Love
think
it.
I've got enough battery.
I
I'll
love
take
this
it.
stuff.
Oh, and show you. I know it's fascinating, isn't it? All these different bits
Yeah.
and things. So I've got a water container here, and I just store it. Oh, hang on. Let me just put this down, and then I can lift it so you can see
Okay.
it. So I just store it in this bottle, and if I take the bottom off, it's sitting in on. Can you see that?
Is that
Oh, yeah.
shungite in the bottle?
Yes, it's just
Yeah.
sitting
Oh, it's
in
in
there.
the bottle with the
In
water.
yes, yeah, I store it over all the time on that.
Oh my
Well,
Because
and
shungite's got such amazing properties.
does that? Do you ever change the shungite out,
Yes.
or is it
Well,
the same
no,
stuff?
I take it and I clean it, and it shrinks with time. But I take it and I clean it.
How do you clean it?
Just wash it in water and leave it to dry in the sun.
So it's
Right.
getting really like it's
Yes.
antibacterial from the
Yes.
sun too, on
Yes.
top of everything,
Yes.
right?
So I mean, I store everything on shungite. So like my, you
Oh my
know, people laugh at me when they come because like even my router is stored on shungite. Everything sits on a bed of shungite.
Shirley, thank God you don't live near me.
Why?
I'd be over your house every day. I'd be like, I need a new lesson every day.
Oh, that's all right, my dear. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to do that. You can message me anytime for anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's very kind of you. Thank you.
Well, I've
But
got
I did
Shirley's
actually-
email address anyway, so
Sorry?
I'll give
Now,
you
my, and my last question is, where do you get your shungite? Like, do you have
Well,
a specific?
If you go online and have a
crystals?
look, you need to get. There's lots of cheap stuff. I mean, to be fair, the site that they said that shungite, they thought it was a meteor that hit the Earth, but the rock that it made into this thing is about the size of the whole of the city of London. So it is a massive area in Russia. But you really need to pay the best price you can and look through different sorts and be prepared to pay the best price you can for premium shungite.
Got it.
So, but I mean, I had a friend who came out and he's got all this particular equipment, and he checked it because I've got a Wi-Fi phone and everything, unfortunately. And when I first had it installed, he was there with whatever counter it is. I always call it a Geiger counter, but it probably isn't. And he said, "Oh gosh, you don't want to sit too near that. It's giving off a terrific signal." While he wasn't looking, I sat it on a bed of shungite, and I said, "Can you test it now?" And he said, "What have you done? What have you done? It's dropped to almost nothing." So all my electrical equipment sits on beds of shungite in the hope of trying to, well, stop the effect of it on me.
Yeah. And you put it right on, like you would just take
Yes.
your phone and
Yes.
put it right on
Yes,
the shungite.
yes, yes.
Wow.
So it really does work. It's
See,
really useful.
I've got orgonite on here, and I've got another
Right.
big orgonite pendant hanging
Yes.
here. But I might have to
Yeah,
get
I've
some shungite and dot it all
You
over
have
the
to
place.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes, because you've got it quite hot down in Folkestone at the moment, haven't you, Stu?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
been
it is,
very
yeah.
hot.
I've managed to acclimatise my flat. It's all blacked out curtains over there. I've got 3 windows open.
Right.
One of my pet hates is having a big fly come in, because they come in and they can't get out. So a couple of years ago, I bought 3 screens. Buy them online. You measure your windows.
I know.
You get 3 bits like that, and then you've got a perfect screen that comes down, so I can have my windows open and no flies can come in. So, and always now, when it's this hot and I'm podcasting, I sort of have a semi-cold shower now beforehand. As soon as we finish this in 5-10 minutes or whatever like that, my top's coming back off, and it'll only go back on about 5 to 11 tonight. Oh no, actually, I'll put it on if I go in Jason's queue
Of
soon.
course. Yes. Yeah.
If you ever want to go in there, Shirley, that's a lovely place to go and have a chat.
What with Jason? I mean, I followed him
Well,
for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's not in the Zoom all the time, but
It's the people.
him and Dina set up a Zoom. If you're on Telegram and a We Not Me chat, I can send you the link. And
Okay.
a lot of people in the chat. Peter's friend Wendy and Kate Carter, they're always in there. There's about 10 to 20 people all just waffling on. A lot of them are in America and around the world. And if you ever got nothing to do on a Saturday evening from 7 o'clock, it is UK time, because it's 2 o'clock they start over there. And I'll go in there for a couple of hours tonight just for a chat and talk to people, because obviously I'm staying up to go on this Truth Teller.
There's 11. Yes. That I mean, send me the link. I mean, one of the things about talking about flies, I was walking on the hills one evening after I'd put the kids to bed, and I sat down quietly, and it was a hot evening, all these flies were clustering around me. So I tried an experiment. I strengthened my aura and became aware of it, and I really worked on it. And prior to that, they were landing all over my face. It was one of those hot, clammy evenings you get in Britain. I managed to keep them all at bay. So I still practice that now. If a fly comes into the room, I open the window, I strengthen my aura, and I ask the fly, and they nearly always go out through the window.
Wow.
Amazing.
I know people think I'm loopy because the fly will come in and they'll see me go, and then the fly just goes out, and they say, "How'd you do that, Mum?" And I said, "Well, yes." So,
well,
it's amazing what we can do.
There's something I do as well that I learned this a long time ago. If anyone ever comes up to you, what they're called is auric vampires, that you feel they're so negative or anything like that, and they're just draining your energy while they're talking to you. It's almost like the Celestine prophecy, where that energy
I was going to say that.
Is that I learned, and I can't remember who said do this. Whenever that's happened, just go like this. Obviously, don't make it so obvious that you're going, "Oh, get away from me," but just go, "Oh, how are you?" Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing like that. And it disconnects their pull, their connection.
Wow. So you're clearing your heart chakra.
I will try that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll try that. Because I mean, these days I think that as frequency is changing and our frequency is changing, we are drawing more people towards us because they sense the energy, especially if they're if you remember, we talked about the fact that again, the name's it's gone from me. It'll come back to me about how the vaccine has disconnected people from God, from their spirituality, and then they now no longer connected to source. So they will be drawn to people like us because we are a higher source of vibration than they're presently experiencing. I mean, this is all done subconsciously. They're not doing it on purpose. They don't realize they're doing it, but you do have to have these forms of protection. Yes. Yeah. So I think that's what's happening. So
yeah, definitely. Well, well, look, we're nearly. That's flown again, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
It has. Yes.
Thanks so much for coming on. I'll give Simone a call and see what's going on with her computer and stuff like that. And you said Misty was only here for about an hour anyway.
She had another appointment, so she got off very quietly. But it was great. Yeah. We had a great group today.
Yeah, and as I said, if you send me the link for Jason, yes, I mean, I would like to join wherever I can, just because I want to be able to contribute. That's the point. I want to be able to put something in, and it's learning for all of us, as you say.
Yeah. So, all right, can you can see the private chat on here, can't you?
If I put my glasses back on.
Yeah, I will find it. Just don't.
I mean, you've got my email address because I did email you sometime.
Yeah, no, I've got your email address. I'll email it to you then.
You can do that way if you want to.
That's the same link every week. What happened? They did have some loony come in there about a month and a half ago, I think, or 2 months ago, that just created trouble. So what they do now is Darlene's normally in control of it. Hugs MB is a chat name, and you sit in the back room, and then they wait and let you in and all that. But there's just loads of lovely people in there. Like I say, I'll probably go in there about 8 o'clock tonight. But
okay.
Yeah, there'll be other people in there. Now, I just want to quickly go through our schedule for next week.
Yes, do.
Because we've had a busy week this week, and it's not over yet. So next week, Monday the 1st of June, we've got our Respect episode 5, Michelle Peterson. Tuesday the 2nd of June, massive guest, Edward Griffin.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm reading the book at the moment. My brain's gone, but yes.
The Creature of Jekyll Island.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm reading that. Yes, at the moment.
Yeah. Wednesday, we've got Matt Geiger. Thursday, we've got Phil, who runs the QAG.news site.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's one of the best Q aggregator sites out there at the moment. There's so much detail. So he's going to give us a good rundown through that. And then Red Pilling Renee, episode 12 on Friday. And then that's all we've got on at the moment for next week. So it should be a nice, quiet week, really.
Yes, yes.
But
well, you do need some downtime. Come on, you do need some downtime.
Well, look, I have downtime every day. I mean, look, I do my research in the morning. Every day I either go to the gym or go for a run. Today, I've been for a run and to the gym.
Even in the heat?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure there's half Ethiopian in me or something like that. Can you imagine? Right? I mean, it's not too bad, but I've learned now not to put my distillers on when it's baking up, because I would be sitting here looking like John McEnroe. I'd have a big headband on, it's all running down me and stuff. So there was one day we had in England last year, 2 years ago, Shirley, I think, where it went up to 40 degrees centigrade.
I remember. Yeah, I don't like
one day I was so hot sitting in here, I went out for a run. With
Oh my gosh.
And it was fine. And I felt much better out there than I did in here. So that's good. Yeah, I'm good in the heat. I'm not bad in the cold either, but I prefer the heat.
That's
No,
nice.
I prefer the cold, because I always feel you can get warm, even with a hot water bottle or my rebounder, my trampoline in the other room. But the heat, yeah, in the heat, you can't always cool it down enough. And I've never been good with the heat, but that's just a family thing.
That's funny, that really, because I've got a turbo trainer upstairs, one of my bikes on it, so I can go for a bike ride, you know, or it's
get warm.
like virtual land and stuff. I use a thing called Zwift, and that's an excellent way in the winter to get warm. So it's just making me laugh. You go and have a jump up and down your trampoline.
Well, yeah, because you see, that's what moves your lymph system.
Yes,
going on that.
exactly.
It's very good for that. And so I think we need that. That's in cleavers. So you know that product you go in the garden, Sticky Willy, that you throw on you? Yeah. You know, did you have it in America? Sticky Willy?
It's called sticky weed, we used to call it.
That's right.
No.
Well, if you pick that and you just leave it to soak overnight in water, that flushes your lymph system. So I have that. What I do is I bring it in, and in fact, I liquidize it and then strain it, and then I freeze it. So I've got it all year round. But that is a fantastic, it's so full of nutrients, and it's free. That's what I like. So
That's
I have
great.
that every other morning with my celery juice, and I drink quite a lot of Cleaver's water. So I've always got that in the fridge, and that is fantastic. So that with the rebounding and keeps your lymph system working.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Anyway,
Right.
thank you for entertaining me, and thank you for having me. It's been lovely to
Thank
see you.
you.
Yeah, look, we hope more of you out there in the chat. Come on and break your cherry sometime.
Yes,
anyone
please
in
do.
Jason Q's Zoom later, I will be in there for a few hours, no doubt. And we love you all. Thanks for
All right.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for engaging in the chat. Shirley, thanks for coming on. Missed you and Simone as well. And we love you all. Where we go, when we go all. And if you don't come and join us for Ellen Truth Teller Tales tonight, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Take care,
Bye.
guys. See you later. Bye.
Make sure you're watching Stu's News and Patriots across the pond for some of your awakening information. Amazing guests every week from Monday to Saturday. Visit patriotsacrossthepond.com and follow Stewie and Elisa today on Rumble for the live shows. And remember, where we go one, we go all.
In a world flooded with noise, clarity has become rare. People are questioning what they're told and searching for something real. Mr. Heal's modern wellness meets old school remedies. CBD tinctures, methylene blue, gummies and edibles, THC-free wellness, and functional remedies crafted with old school care and modern precision. Biozox, a trusted source for ivermectin and fenbendazole. Biozox, believe your health decisions should be yours, not dictated by politicians or big pharma. Crafted with purpose and precision, Freedom Forged coffee, cacao and mushroom tinctures, small batch roasted coffee, rich cacao and functional mushrooms crafted with purpose. Verity Metals, redefining what precious metals investing should be. Why choose Verity Metals? We're not just another gold dealer. We're a trusted retirement partner. Our clients choose us because we lead with education, integrity, and transparency. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, accounting for 66.5% of bankruptcies. We can all agree the healthcare system is broken. There is an alternative: impact health sharing. which Yahoo News is calling the disruptor in the $4.6 trillion healthcare system. For more information, visit patriotsacrossthepond.com.